welcome everybody. It's great to see so many people out here. This is one of our, as I've said, I think 3 times this year, this is our favorite night. Come see the students come out and honor you guys for all your amazing accomplishments. So with that, I will turn it over to Dr. Desaw for special reports.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Again, it is so nice to have you all here tonight to celebrate the many achievements that our students have had this spring season. Without further ado, I'd like to call up our elementary school principal, Miss Rachel Hunger.
Thank you so much. We are so happy to be here this evening to celebrate the 4th grade Fill-A-Bucket team from BRS. For anybody sitting in the audience, I'm sure you can remember your days in BRS of the importance of being a bucket filler. And our team surely sends those messages to everybody in the school. And tonight we have Mr. Pinkava here who's going to share a bit more about their accomplishments on behalf of himself, Ms. Flatley, and Ms. Benanti, who worked with the team all year.
So, good evening. I just have to say I am smiling from ear to ear this evening because over the last 3 years at BRS, I've had the pleasure of leading the Fill-A-Bucket team alongside Ms. Flatley, our K-12 counselor, as well as Ms. Benanti, our school psychologist. And each year, the students offer so much to the BRS community that just spreads further and further throughout Pleasantville and their different experiences. But a humble brag to this group of 4th graders in what they accomplished. And I want to talk about them, and I want people to see their faces as I talk about them. So I want the bucket filler team to come down to the front of the room so we can celebrate their accomplishments. Come on up. As they make their way down, come on down to the front. I'm going to start talking about you because there's a story behind this team. At the beginning of the year, we met, keep coming. We met together, and just like this moment now, we had some small ideas on how to be kind and respectful and responsible. Stop with you, Diana, and turn and face the amazing people out there. Yep, these are incredible kids. And we started out with ideas of how to be kind in BRS. What can we do to help other people be respectful and responsible? And we lived with those ideas, and we created some designs, and we talked about that, and we landed on designing a bulletin board. And those were bulletin board of different ideas of being respectful and responsible at BRS so everyone would see them. And then sometime around December, we're like, that was pretty awesome. Let's do another bulletin board with things we're thankful for around Thanksgiving. And then it was acts of kindness around the winter season. And then we're like, okay, that's been enough bulletin boards. Let's think bigger. And they started thinking about designing a t-shirt, which some of our students have modeled up here, as well as ideas of how these shirts, not just a t-shirt, can bring our community together. So if you look closely at their designs, they landed on a theme of it's cool to be kind. And in the corner of their t-shirt is a smiley face with sunglasses. And on the back, Elior, do you mind being a model? Do you turn around? Yep. There's a tree with all the different acts of kindness and ways that we can be respectful in our community and really capturing the social emotional work at BRS. Thank you, Elior. And so we had this idea, and we reached out to the incredible community organization Break the Hold with the idea of, can we get these shirts for everyone in the BRS community, not just the students, but the staff. And graciously, they donated enough money to fund over 700 t-shirts. Wow. And we're like, okay, right? This can't be just a shirt. What ideas can we have? And their ideas came flowing, and they decided that they would create skits to model the different things that they've learned, and they took some bravery to act these out. They came over to the high school, and in front of a green screen, with only a few weeks of rehearsal, made these incredible resources that were not only viewed by all the students in BRS, but they should know that Ms. Flatley and I plan to continue to use them for how exceptional they are in teaching the values that we have for all of our BRS students and hope to continue throughout their time here in Pleasantville and beyond. So to have one final moment yesterday, which is why some people are not wearing their shirts, we all wore our shirts at BRS, and at the end of the day had a fantastic celebration where all of our students were able to admire them and be proud of them and also want to be like them. They want to be cool, and being cool is being kind. So I am just so proud of this Philabucket team and our BRS community, and I thank you for the opportunity to celebrate them today. Let's give them another big round of applause.
Great job.
Congratulations, you guys. Congratulations, and thank you for making us Pleasantville proud, our BRS Fill-A-Bucket team. Next up, we have the middle school Science Olympiads to be commended for their amazing season. Our middle school principal, Dr. Chigares, thank you so much.
Good evening, Dr. Sa, Board of Education, and Pleasantville community. It is my great pleasure to speak about the Stellar Science Olympiad program that we had this year in the middle school. This year's team reached new heights at several levels with over 50 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. It was the biggest team fielded by the school to date. They've competed in more competitions than ever, traveled beyond New York State for the first time, and achieved the highest ranking at states. The amazing Dr. Chuck and Dr. Martha Mateo, along with a small group of parents and community volunteers, started this program back in 2010. Their leadership and direction quickly led the Pleasantville Science Olympiad to great success by any measure, and most especially in the large cohort of students and now young adults who had the Mateos to guide them and inspire their intellectual curiosity. This year's team took that full steam ahead. They hit the ground running with their first competition in November. They had 3 teams compete, and against 70 other teams from across the country, including many top finishers at nationals. Pleasantville reached top 10 in 10 finishes and had a lot of experience and motivation that led throughout the year. 1 month later, the middle school team competed in another virtual nationwide competition. The team won a 9th place overall trophy and 6 sets of top 10 medals. In February, the team headed up to Cambridge, Massachusetts for the Harvard Invitational. It was an amazing experience for the students and their families. Pleasantville took home 2nd place as a team and had 29 sets of medals with 6 top 6 finishes. In the Lower Hudson Regional Science Olympiad Tournament, this was held in March. They competed against 33 teams throughout the region, and Pleasantville's A team took the 2nd spot. Pleasantville as a whole achieved 38 top 10 finishes, including 5 first place finishes, and they broke 2 regional records along that way at that tournament. Doing so well at the regional tournament, they earned the rights to compete at states. They headed up to Syracuse where this was, and they had stellar results. Out of nearly 300 teams across New York and the 40 selected for state competitions, the team placed 4th overall, which was the highest rank Pleasantville has ever achieved at the state level. Bravo is right. Bravo is right. The team garnered an amazing 31 medals in the top 10, showing strength across the whole field. We celebrate the hard work of all the students and coaches over the past year, in addition to all the trophies and medals the students have gained in valuable knowledge and skills. Perhaps even more importantly, they've honed their skills in teamwork, leadership, self-sufficiency, and resilience that we know will prove them to be strong characteristics as they progress and get older. The Science Olympiad program was coordinated this year by middle school teachers Leanne Benson and Jake Soblowski, and is largely run and operated by parent and community volunteers. Christine Cochran and Lana Pattinson were instrumental in the growth and achievement of this program throughout the past few years, and we thank them for their tireless dedication, commitment, and they really gave everything to these students. This is the last 2 years. Yes, big round of applause. I'm going to call them up. If I can have Lana and Christine come up to the mic. So I'm going to have Lana and Christine, if you can, you're going to come up to the podium. They're going to say a few words about this team, and I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, they have really taken the torch and will continue to pass the torch along to future parents that get involved in this program. It's a really great program that, as I mentioned, Dr. Mateo started, and we're going to keep that tradition going strong. So Lana and Christine, if you can come up.
Okay. So we've had a great year, and we couldn't have done it without our adult coaches as well in the community. So some of the members that helped us this year to coach our middle school teams were Lisa Brown, William Cochran, Katie Cusack, Bill Cusack, Jimmy Garland, Abby Gathi, Yasmin Falk, Allison Kwan, J.D. Lewis, Gaurav Malhotra, Chloe O'Brien, Leslie O'Malley, and Dimos Tasilikudis. Did I say it right? Cheryl Santiama, Laurent Charas, and Jonathan White. So round of applause.
In addition, multiple students from Pleasantville High School coach our teams, including, well, she's not at Pleasantville High School anymore, but Dana Ballin. She's at a different school now. Camilla Browand, Megan Chong, Evan Cochran, Perna Gupta, Harshini Pathuganti, and Hanifa Thain.
So I know we have a lot of you, and we'd like to show that off. So why don't, if you're a member of the Pleasantville Science Olympiad team, why don't we take a stand right in front of the podium right here, and we can acknowledge you and give you a great big round of applause. So if you're a part of the Pleasantville Middle School Science Olympiad team, come on down. This way everyone at home can see you too.
It's going to be special.
You guys just heard. It's going to be special. Yeah.
All right, so this year's highest ranking Pleasantville Science Olympiad team. Great big round of applause, everybody. Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations. Congratulations, everybody.
Now we have one last piece that we would like to acknowledge, and I'm going to call back Lana and Christine to talk about the service awards for the Pleasantville Friends of STEM.
So Pleasantville Friends of STEM is a 501(c)(3) organization dedicated to supporting, hey, I thought I was done with this. Like, all right. Pleasantville Friends of STEM is dedicated to helping support STEM in Pleasantville. So we always suggest that donations are always great, but this was also started by Dr. Martha Mateo and Dr. Chuck Mateo. Martha's here tonight. And so this year, Friends of STEM became a sponsoring organization for the Presidential Volunteer Service Award. And for this award, the kids have to dedicate at least 5 hours to Friends of STEM, but they also have to have a minimum of 50 hours of community service. And so we had several kids go ahead and qualify this year. So if I call your name, please come up and get your medal. So first is Lexi Boyce. Is she not here? Oh, okay, sorry. Moving on. Elias Newman. Okay. Proud to say that. Proud to say the next one is my daughter, Cameron Pattinson. And we had one overachiever this year. There's always one. And she's such an overachiever, she's not here tonight because she's at practice, competition practice. But Cadence Liu had 100 hours of volunteer service this year. Wow. So she gets a gold medal.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Next up is Mr. Palumbo to share some accolades that our high school students have achieved.
Good evening. Very proud of our students here at Pleasantville High School. It takes a community to support all that they do throughout the year. That's the perfect note for me to start on because the initial group that we're going to recognize this evening is coached, taught, led, advised by a parent here in the community. We had some trouble finding someone on the faculty that was available to coach our forensics, our speech and debate team this year, and a community partner stepped up. She ran with it. She did a phenomenal job this year. We're excited to have her back next year. And I'm pleased to welcome Ms. Vicki Nielsen-Papish to the podium to introduce our speech and debate team.
So speech and debate is a pretty amazing club, I think. Our students go on weekends and debate. They have to research current events topics like, should we ban fracking? Should we continue to give aid to the Ukraine? And they have to write speeches and stand up and give that speech, be questioned, be judged. And for me, I think it's just such a great experience for them. It teaches them public speaking. It teaches them about current events. It teaches them how to find credible sources, how to build an argument. And we debate against some of the best schools in the area. We debate against Stuyvesant, Bronx Science, Scarsdale, Regis, Loyola, and we did great this year. So I'd love to call the speech and debate folks up to the front of the room. Come on, you too, come on. Don't be shy. This is not the whole team because we've got busy folks, but this is a lot of them. I would first just like to thank, hold on, our captains, Zachary Nielsen-Papish, Colin Rupsaman, Camilla Zabagajiva, who's running. We had a great year. We had several top finishes. We had 4 students compete at states this year, including Zach, Colin, Hanifa Thane, there's Angela, and Camilla Zabagajiva. Camilla got 7th place at states, and overall, our team for Congress, got 5th place in the states. So really excited about that. And I would like to give special recognition to Camilla Zabagajiva, who was on fire this year from the first debate. She got a first place trophy at a local tournament, eventually qualifying to compete at the Catholic Nationals tournament. We compete in the Catholic League, sort of like CYO. It's not like a religious league, they just organize it. She competed over Memorial Day weekend in Chicago at Catholic Nationals. She had to qualify to make it there. She was up against 170 people from around the country, and she took 4th place in the country. Great job. So, really excited for what our team is going to continue to do next year. Thank you.
So the theme around service and leadership will remain consistent throughout this recognition portion for the high school. The next recognee this evening is Miss Harshini Alagante. Can you come join me up here, Harshini? I think you're here. Come on up. Let's give a round of applause. So Harshini is the Presidential Volunteer Gold Service Award winner. She had volunteered for over 600 hours this year. Let's give her a round of applause. I'll talk a little bit about her work. She primarily coached, aided, and assisted with our Science Olympiad program, which we take great pride in. You know, as students move through the program, they assume leadership roles here at the high school. Very often when students are here for an orientation or they're making the transition from the middle school, we will pose the question, what will your contribution be? Harshini, I think it's safe to say you've made a tremendous contribution. We appreciate all that you do, and we're happy to recognize you this evening. Thank you so much. I am aware this is a student recognition evening. However, we do have an adult in the auditorium who was instrumental in the next recognition that we have scheduled for this evening. I'm going to ask him to join me up here before we begin. I believe there's a Dr. Yuri Parashak somewhere in the back. Could you please join me up here? You don't have to say anything.
He said singing.
Hello. Pleased to meet you. So a little over a year ago, we received an email from a community member about this Science Expo in France and the possibility of a partnership that would really bridge the gap between our school here in Pleasantville and students studying abroad. Based on that initial communication, we did some work with Dr. Parashak and this community, our school partner in France, and we were able to bring students over to France this year. Families funded it privately. It was not a school trip, but it was an amazing experience around learning. I just wanted to thank you publicly for your leadership and have you up here as we recognize the students. So big round of applause. This year, Pleasantville juniors Eli Nielsen Papish, Sebastian Vidra, and Camila Zababajaiva traveled to Sète, France in late April to present their science research projects at an expo. Accompanying them were teachers Christina Pallotta and Miss Deborah Hurtis, an interdisciplinary effort between our science and our French departments. Pleasantville's participation in the expo stems from a collaboration between the president of Sète Expo Science and their mentor that we just identified. They facilitated an exchange between Lycée Joliette Curie in Sète and Pleasantville High School, making this international experience possible. The focus of this partnership is both cultural and a STEM informational exchange. The expo was held in April from the 25th to the 27th. Prior to the event, PHS students enjoyed a variety of language and cultural classes and activities that included a day in the city there. They attended French philosophy classes in their building. I understand they enjoyed a lunch that included mussels and oysters, very different food from the one we have here in school lunches. And they came back with tremendous stories about all that they've done. In fact, we're currently working on part 2 of this, which might be students from France visiting Pleasantville next year and doing some presentations and visiting our building, which would be phenomenal. Prior to the expo, students from SET and Pleasantville engaged in Zoom conversations. So before students went over to France, they had connected with each other already throughout the year. To deepen the cultural exchange, students were hosted by students in their homes in France. So we will be looking for some community partners. If our friends from France come over, we'll be in touch about that in the future. PHS students expressed hope that in the fall, they will continue this program, and we're certainly working to make that happen. This trip has not only highlighted the students' academic achievements, but also deepened their understandings of differences in the cultural and educational systems in both countries, fostering a wider global perspective that will benefit all of their future endeavors. I recently went to the science symposium that we had, and one of the students talked about getting outside of the United States and hearing different perspectives as it related to their specific research and their project, and how valuable that was as they began to finalize their presentations for the work that they did at our symposium. So certainly an amazing experience. If Camila and Sebastian are here, if you could join us up front for some quick recognition, that would be great. Eli is working this evening. He is a tremendously accomplished young man, and we'll be sure to recognize him in the building. He was talking to me about his PIA trip actually this morning. He's got a lot on his plate. Our next group is our Science Olympiad program. I am not the Science Olympiad advisor. Ms. Pilata, who was double booked this evening, so I offered to cover for her here and celebrate the accomplishments of those students. This year, the Science Olympiad had a landmark season, setting record performances with our largest team ever. This was a season of several firsts, the first with over 39 people competing in our first invitational event, holding our first large fundraiser, and earning our first top 3 placement at the regionals tournament here locally. Overall, the team had a very successful and productive season. Through fundraising efforts, they were able to fund initiatives that they pursued throughout the year, like our STEM Day that engaged 72 elementary students in learning here during the school day. The team also achieved our highest ever state ranking during our second time attending the New York State Tournament in Syracuse. I believe Mr. Fondi traveled with the team. Let's give him a round of applause for his support of the program. These numbers are impressive. In total, the team took home over 60 medals across all of their competitions, of which 10 were top 3 finishes. Most importantly, the team displayed an immense sense of partnership, teamwork, and collaboration that is critical to all the work that we do here in Pleasantville High School. And I believe it was a large component of the success that they enjoyed this year and the success that will continue for years to come. Thinking about the students over here on my right, we can't wait to have you join our program. All of the club's success would not be possible without our community partners. Dr. Mateo, it is so great to see you here. Thank you for all that you've done. To our coaches, to our young mentors and advisors at the middle school, who work to prepare students. I met some parents this evening who were talking about how excited they were about the high school transition. We love the partnership. We appreciate the work that you do, and we're looking forward to working with you here in the high school in the future. And of course, our advisor, Ms. Pilata, who sends her best, and like I said, she was just double booked this evening at the retirement party for our teachers, which is the only reason she's not here. If I could ask the members of the Science Olympiad who are in attendance this evening to maybe come up front, we'll do a group photo and give you a round of applause for all the work that you've done this year. You want to go over there? Or you want to slide it that way? It's a bigger group. Yeah, we'll slide over that way. I would now like to invite our athletic director, Mr. Dan Iorio, with some athletic recognitions.
Good evening, everyone. This spring season was certainly another season to remember, especially considering some of the weather challenges that we experienced. So it's important that we recognize some of those teams and athletes that made it so special. But before doing so, I want to take a moment to congratulate all of the other students, not just our athletes, for your accomplishments. You've made your families, you've made this Pleasantville community extremely proud. So I do want to congratulate you. And it looks like that extra gym time paid off for the Science Olympiad as well. So I'm glad it worked out. Participating in Pleasantville athletics is not just about wins and losses and being on the field of competition. You've heard me talk about that in the past. It's about understanding the educational values of discipline, equity, inclusion, communication, accountability, and respect. Those are the values that we feel will benefit you the most in life, in the classroom, and your years beyond being in high school. So speaking of in the classroom, this spring we had multiple teams that were recognized as scholar athlete teams by New York State. In order to be recognized as a scholar athlete team, you need to have a GPA as a team above 90%. Those teams were varsity baseball, boys lacrosse, girls lacrosse, softball, boys tennis, boys track and field, and girls track and field. So congratulations to all those teams. I would like to make a few comments on some of our teams. Varsity boys tennis qualified for the Section 1 team tournament for the first time in 11 years. Varsity girls lacrosse, they finished up with an amazing season as league champions, going 14-4. And our head coach, Hannah Tiso, was selected by the Section 1 coaches as the Class D Coach of the Year, great accomplishment for a second-year coach. Varsity boys lacrosse finished up with a standout season, capturing their second straight league, section, and region championships, going 37-5 over the last 2 seasons. A majority of those athletes, or close to all of them right now, are participating in travel teams. That's why they're unable to attend. At this point, I would like to call up two of our spring track and field athletes, Aiden Kayizzi and Gannon Traymore. Some familiar names and faces. Unable to attend alongside them is Shane Horrigan. I would like to talk about Shane first. Along with his brother Ryan and teammates Lucas Esposito and Eric Nanaj, they broke the school record for the 4x100 meter relay. Shane also broke the school record in the pentathlon. He was a state qualifier gold medalist for pentathlon. The pentathlon has 5 events for those who are not familiar with it: the shot put, the high jump, the 1500 meter run, the 110 meter hurdles, and the long jump. He competed in the New York State Championships for pentathlon in Syracuse 2 weeks ago. So congratulations to Shane for an unbelievable season. Next is Aiden Kayizzi. Aiden broke his own school record in discus. He was named All-League, All-Section, and All-County in shot put and discus, and he competed in New York State Championships for discus. He's had one of the most successful careers out of any track and field athlete in Pleasantville, so congratulations to Aiden. And finally is Gannon Traymore, who's nationally ranked number 19 in the hammer throw. Again, that's nationally in the United States of America. He broke the school record for hammer throw by 56 feet. How much does the hammer? How much? So he's throwing something 12 pounds, and I think you threw a total of like 170 something feet. 196. Wow. He also competed in the New Balance Nationals. This is a national event, outdoor championship in Philadelphia for the hammer throw, and was named as well to the all-county team with Aiden. So congratulations to these guys. They've been unbelievable. And on top of it all, they're great people. So thank you.
I'm not sure if you all know this, but the mission of the Pleasantville Union Free School District is to empower all students to thrive as lifelong learners, dynamic thinkers, and compassionate, contributing citizens through a learning community distinguished by a safe, supportive environment of respect and collaboration, exploration of individual passions, and celebration of accomplishments, and leadership and service. From everything that we have heard about all of your achievements and accomplishments tonight, we can honestly say that you are living our mission, and we are so proud of you. And another theme that came out tonight was, I don't think that any of this would happen without the tremendous partnerships that we have with our families and with our community organizations. So we are so proud of you, and thank you to the amazing Pleasantville community for helping our students live the mission of Pleasantville.